children, now we're going to hear the story of Journey to Egypt. Slowly, very slowly, Joseph and Mary made their way southward with their precious baby. It was a long, tiresome one journey, for much of the road lay through a dry, sandy desert where there were no comfortable place for anybody to rest. It is more than 100 miles from Bethlehem to the border of Egypt. If today you could travel that distance in a couple of hours, but in those days it meant several days hard traveling. Poor Mary! How she must have wondered why all this should have happened to her. Why should Herod want to kill her baby? And if a little Jesus was indeed the Son of the Highest, as Gabriel had told her, why couldn't she have a home in which to care for him? Why did she have to wander about like this, owning nothing in the world save the few things tied on the donkey's back? To all her question, I went up. At last they crossed the border into Egypt. There was not much difference in necessary, just more sand, more desert, but oh, what a relief to know that they were safe from Herod's soldiers at last. How far they went into Egypt, the Bible does not say, but we can be sure that they passed the pyramids, which Abraham had seen when he came this way, and they must have walked by the Nile where Moses was laid in the bulrushes when he was a baby. Just where they lived in Egypt, or how long they stayed there, nobody knows. It could be that Joseph got work as a carpenter to help pay expenses, while Mary stayed in some humble home and cared tenderly for her baby. One night, when Jesus was still a very little boy, the angel of the Lord came again to Joseph, this time with good news. King Herod was dead, he said, and it was now safe for them to return to Palestine. "Arise," said the angel, "and take the young child and his mother, and go into the land of Israel, for they are dead which sought the young child's life." When Joseph told Mary what the angels had said, I can't imagine she wept for joy at the thought of going home. True, God had been good to them in Egypt. What with the money Joseph had been able to earn, and the gold that the wise men had given them, they had been able to live comfortably. But always they had felt they were strangers in a strange land. Never a day had passed but they had felt the tug of their homeland. Now they could go back and see their friends and loved ones again. It was too good to be true. Packing up once more, they prepared to leave the land that had given them shelter in their time of need. One bright morning they set our northward, following at least part of the way, much the same road that the Israelites traveled when Moses led them out of Egypt to Canaan. Did you ever wonder what Jesus thought about it all? He had come into Egypt in his mother's arms, but he left and on his own stutterly legs. Did you ever wonder what Jesus thought about it all? He had come into Egypt in his mother's arms, but he left and on his own stutterly legs. Of course, he was too little to walk very far, and no doubt Joseph had to lift him up on the donkey beside Mary every now and then to give him a rest. But like every other haughty little boy, he was eager to act grown up as much as possible. So he shattered on asking questions and questions and still more questions about everything. So patiently Mary answered them all as best she could. Every now and then she tried to tell him little bits of history that she thought he would understand about how God had watched over his people and his very place and how he had brought them out of bondage into freedom and the happy, happy land where they were going now. Thank you.